Okay, well, good Friday morning, Jet fans. Good football Friday, Jet fans. It's 9:05 a.m., December 6, 2019, and Week 14 of the NFL began last night in Chicago, where Mitchell Trubisky outplayed the star over in Dallas, um, Prescott. He Trubisky ran for touchdowns, threw for touchdowns. He did not look rattled at all. Um, he had a few hiccups, but nothing that the boys could really take advantage of. In the end, the Bears go to 7-6. The boys drop to 6-7. 31-24 was your final. Um, Jason Garrett, some of his coaching strategies really had me scratching my head last night. I'm scratching my neck now. Down by 17 in the third quarter, late in the third quarter. Well, I don't know how late it was, but he has a 4th and 1. They're struggling to move the ball. You kick the field goal, you get within 2 touchdowns. This eliminates two things later on in the game. It eliminates trying to go for a long field goal because who knows with the kickers, and it's a 2 touchdown game and you have to score twice. He elected to go for it. He got the touchdown, so I can't take that away from him. He looks like a genius to do that. But right after that, the Bears get the ball and they go right down the field and score, and they go back to 17 points again. It's just things like that. You don't expect the defense to give up that long drive quickly, but you play the odds. What are the odds of me getting a long field goal out of my kicker? What are the after I believe he missed one? So you kick the chip shot and then you go for the touchdowns later on. You have Amari Cooper, you have Gallup, you have uh, Elliott, and you have Zach, and Dak, and you work with your weapons. I just don't know what he was thinking, but he got the touchdown, but he wound up losing by 7 anyway. Boys could still win the division with the 6-7 record right now because the Eagles are one game behind them. Jason Garrett, I don't think is a coach of this team next year. I don't know where he is. There was talk of him being a Giant. Um, I don't know the way he ends the season. If anybody's going to pick him up, but let's continue. Week 14 of the NFL has some great matchups, and the first matchup is Ravens Bills at Buffalo. Bills are 9-3, getting 5.5 points at home. Ravens are 10-2. I would love to see the Bills win this game. I'm not a Bills fan, but I would love to see the Bills win this game. Um, it would prove to me that those 9 wins were not um, just easy wins. Not all wins in the NFL are easy wins, but they didn't really play high, potent teams and they won. They almost beat the Patriots, but they didn't beat them. It was almost so. If they beat the Ravens, I really believe that the Bills could make a run in the playoffs, and they will, if not keep pace with the Patriots, tie the Patriots because the Patriots are playing the Chiefs. So I like the Bills getting to 5.5. Patriots are home against the Chiefs. I don't think the Patriots lose 2 games in a row. I don't think they have 2 bad games in a row. They've had subpar games and not very bad games. Last week, Brady was flustered early on. You could see it when he got to the sidelines. Chiefs are getting 3.5 in Foxborough. I like them with the points. I think the Patriots win by like 2. They go to 11-2. And that's why you want the Bills to keep pace with them with a win. They do face each other later on this season, and that's going to be that's going to be a great matchup. Um, the Steelers are playing the Cardinals. Steelers are in the midst of a wild card. They're 7-5. They're in Arizona. 3-8-1 Arizona getting 2.5 points. The Steelers with their defense should win this game unless Kyler Murray decides to take the game onto his shoulders himself. Uh, the Steelers are giving 2.5. I take the Cardinals getting the 2.5. I think the Steelers win by 1 in a late field goal. But I think the game is very low scoring. The third string quarterback, the rookie quarterback, the defense. I think the Cardinals keep it close, and the Steelers need a late second field goal to win it. Titans and Raiders, both teams looking for a wild card spot as well. Titans 7-5 at Oakland 6-6. Oakland getting 3.5 points. I like the Titans to win outright, given the points as well. I like the Titans, even though the Raiders, I like Tannehill for the Titans, even though the Raiders are having one of their last few games in Oakland ever. Just the Titans, I think, just found some rejuvenation with the quarterback, and they are ready to move forward. Seahawks and Rams on a Sunday night game. Seahawks 10-2, go to LA 7-5. When you play a team on the West Coast from Seattle and you're in Seattle, a lot of your fans will make the trek to LA. Um, the Rams don't pull in that many fans to begin with. That home games, it's like the Chargers out in LA. I don't understand. Um, but the Seahawks are giving giving 1.5 to the home team, Rams. I like the Seahawks to win outright. I like them to cover. Um, I think Jared Goff and Gurley and their coach has come back down to earth, and they are now beatable. Um, and you go back to the Super Bowl last year. From that point on, Patriots showed you how to beat this team, and I think that's what's going on. The Monday night game locally is going to be special for Giant fans. It's in Philly. I still say they're going to be Giant fans making the trek down the Turnpike who bought tickets before the season started to see this matchup, this primetime matchup. But now you have Eli Manning stepping up to start this game. The Eagles are 5-7. They need to win to tie the Cowboys, who are at 6-7, and to keep pace with the NFC East. It's crazy that a 9-7 team can win this division and get a home playoff game. Probably they won't get a bye, but get a home playoff game. But I think the Giants win with the points 8.5. The Eagles, I think, win by like 2 or 3. I think Eli keeps them in the game. Eli will have some magic. He may have 2 touchdowns, but he may also have a pick or two. But I think I like the Giants getting the points. I don't know if they win outright. I think the Eagles have too much to play for. And then you have our Jets. Our Jets are at home 4-8 versus the 3-9 Dolphins. The Dolphins are getting 5.5 points. So the Jets are favored at home by 5.5. Uh, so basically, you're looking at a 2.5 point swing because you get 3 points for being home. The Dolphins, one of their 3 wins was against the Jets when they were winless back in Miami on November 3rd. I just, if you look at this on paper, you scratch your head. Um, the Jet injury report right now, Jamal Adams will probably not play. He has not practiced all week. He doesn't have the boot on anymore, but it's a sprain of his ankle. You had Le'Veon Bell, who was out with an ailment, with a sickness this week. I don't know if he plays Sunday, what his capacity will be. And getting into Le'Veon Bell, there's a lot of chatter going around that he won't be on this team next year, and possibly Jamal Adams won't be on this team next year. I don't understand 2 things. Well, first of all, I can't reiterate enough how much Joe Douglas was asking for Jamal Adams. Um, if he would have got it, yes, you get rid of him. You move him on for 2 first-round picks and an offensive lineman or whatever you want. You're asking. But if you're not going to get this for him, then you want to build your defense around him as well. He's your safety. You want anchors on the defensive line. You want linebackers. So you want anchors on each facet of the defense. Your up front, your middle, and your secondary. Excuse me. Um, so unless he makes these outrageous demands, I don't see why you try to move him. Le'Veon Bell, let's face it, Adam Gase did not want him from the start. Now, Le'Veon took a year off. I'm not saying he didn't train. I'm not saying he didn't condition. But could it be that not playing a game for a year could have slowed him down? Um, Curtis Martin always used to say in the preseason he needed the ball. He needed to get hit. He needed game time action to get his seasoned legs in. Could it be that Le'Veon needs more than a year to get back? We're giving him a lot of money. Um, he was just the highlight pick on offense over the offseason. I mean, if you look at that, you had on the offense, you have Le'Veon Bell, and the defense, you have C.J. Mosley, and both have been very, very disappointing. I mean, of course, C.J.'s out the whole year after getting hurt in week 1 with his groin. Le'Veon has just not been able to get things moving. I think his highest rushing game was 59 yards. He has not yet gotten close to 100 yards rushing. He does have a few touchdowns on the year, but he just hasn't gotten going. Has not gotten to go. Um, you put Bilal Powell in, who's a change of pace back, and you can see his legs are spinning, and I don't know if it's just you know Le'Veon behind the line that he played for in Pittsburgh, or is it just he's not the Le'Veon that he was 2 years ago? Um, I'd love to see him another year on this team. I'd love to see Adam Gase use him the way he needs to be used. And I don't know. I don't think Adam Gase is trying to spite him because he's only spiting himself. But I do think that Adam Gase is stubborn in a way where he'll only sprinkle in Le'Veon when needed. And you're spiting the team and the fans and yourself because it's not getting you any wins. He needs to be split out as a wide receiver. He needs to be getting passes out of the backfield. Um, so we don't know what he's doing, if he's playing, if he's not playing. He had an ailment. It was said that it wasn't the flu. I know the Patriots came down with a bad case of the flu, where they actually had to have two separate airplanes fly the team so nobody else would get sick last week when they went to Houston. Um, I always pick the Jets to win. I think coming off a demoralizing loss last week, you got to hope that they win. But if you go back to all their games that you think they should have won. Take away the Buffalo game because now Buffalo is showing that hey, we are a team that can play. Um, the Cleveland game, you had your third string quarterback in there. The Eagle game, you were never in the game either. So you start it back with Dallas, and you don't think they're going to win, and they win. Then they have New England on Monday night, and you want to hope that they're going to win, but hey, it's New England. And then you say, all right, they lost 33-0. They're going to, you know, um, I believe I don't know if it was Jacksonville first or Miami first, but you go down there and you got to beat Jacksonville, you can't. You go down there, you got to beat Miami, you can't. You know, and it's just the bottom fell out of the season at that point. Um, and then you figure, all right, the Giants, and they beat the Giants, and you feel, all right, Washington, and then you feel they can lose to Oakland, and they roll over Oakland. Now Oakland's lost two or three in a row. I think they lost two in a row now. So you don't know with this team; they are not consistent. The only thing that's consistent is they make you scratch your head, and injuries have been consistent. They're given 5.5 points. I never bet against them on on the weekly picks. Um, so I'm taking them, giving a 5.5. I think this game could be a very low scoring game. It could be an extremely high scoring game. I don't think there's an in between. I think it could be a 14-10 game, or it could be a 31-30 game. Um, so I'm going to take the Jets to win. With my heart, I think they win 27-20. With my head, I think they win 21-20. I just don't know what team's going to show up. I don't know what wide receiver is going to show up. So that's where we are now. 4 games left, week 14 of the NFL. You can check us out on our website, www.nyjetstories.com. That's www.nyjetstories.com. On Facebook at NY Jet Stories as our Facebook page. On Twitter, our Twitter handle is at NY Jet Stories. And of course, on this YouTube channel, Alex Parziali, NY Jet Stories. Please subscribe. Give us your comments. Give us your positives and negatives towards what I'm saying, towards what you believe. I did a video yesterday on when I first started going to games. Give us, something, what you do. What's your tailgate tradition? What is your game day superstitions? I actually this year I had a shirt every game I wore. Well, I should say every time they won, I was wearing this shirt. We also lost when I wore that shirt, so I think I'm going to change up the shirt this week a little bit, get a little something going. But best they can do is 8-8. This will be the first time since Bill Parcells came in, so 1997. So you're talking 22 years ago. After Rich Kotite had 2 losing seasons, Bill Parcells came in and went 9-7 and had his first winning season. Um, Al Groh came in, I believe he went 9-7. Herm Edwards came in, I believe he went 9-7 or 10-6, um, and he made the playoffs. Mangini, I believe, went 9-7, made the playoffs his first season. Rex went 9-7, made the playoffs his first season. Bowles, I think, went 9-7 or 10-6 his first season, did not make the playoffs. I think 9-7. But this will be the first time we finish under 9 wins while hiring a new coach. Does that mean anything going forward? I don't know. Christopher Johnson has already guaranteed the rest of the season and the next year for Adam Gase. Um, my 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 feeling is, first of all, everybody said, "Oh, look, Christopher Johnson gave him a vote of confidence, and he got 3 game. Team won 3 in a row." I don't know. My thing is, you don't give guarantees when you're, one in whatever. So I think this needs to be looked at, reviewed, assessed, and see where they want to go with the future. But everybody have a great weekend. I'll have a video out Monday morning. Hopefully, it's a video talking about a win for the Jets. Um, Hopefully, it's talking about a nice performance, an enjoyable performance. But we're in the final quarter of the regular season, playoff spots to be made. And if you're in fantasy leagues, this is your last week to play fantasy before the playoffs kick in. So good luck to everybody there. And my daughter's actually in second place in our league. So we shall see how that turns out. So have a great day, Jet fans. Have a great weekend, Jet fans. Be safe, and I'll talk to you all on Monday.